Fundraising is fast becoming a matter of great importance here at IIT Madras. 2 development offices have been set up, one in Silicon Valley and the other one right here in Chennai. To tell you more about the Chennai operations, here is the CEO, Mr. Subbu Subramanian, an 84 alum. He will also give us a brief update on the activities of the IITM Foundation in Silicon Valley.
For the next 10 minutes, I'll take you through the developments in the development office in IIT Madras. I'm sure many of you must be coming back to the campus after a long gap, and campus is still beautiful despite the recent cyclone. Though the impact was a little lesser inside the campus, we do maintain good amount of flora and fauna on the campus. The number of deer in the campus has gone up well beyond 300 now. I don't know how many of you noticed the number of deer at the campus now. As you have more time in the afternoon, you may see more such animals freely roaming around, not very much concerned about who is nearby. So IIT Madras evolved out a vision plan, Vision 2020, in 2013, enumerating where they would like to place themselves by 2020, and then created enablers to reach over there. The building you see is the new research park facilities. That has been operational and has been expanded to additional 0.8 million square feet space. So as a part of the vision plan, several key areas have been identified in the ranking of the institution. As morning Professor Nagarajan mentioned about IIT Madras being the #1 ranked engineering institution in the country. So our objectives are a little more global in nature. We want to move up in the global ranking as well. Along with that, we also enhanced research participation in the campus. Number of students in research has gone up quite steeply in the recent times. We're also getting into transformational technologies that impacts lives. An incubation system has been an excellent initiative from this institute, and one of the earliest to start this incubation facility. And then be a model university campus to ensure that sustainability is practiced right through. And of course, to build a fairly good corpus endowment of 500 crores by 2020. The other key enablers have been built in our vision plan. And of course, so setting up a development office was found to be one important element in making this vision come through. That's how all of us came into being. This development office started off in the year 2015. We have broadly 2 legs to a development office, one in Chennai and one in the Bay Area. In Chennai, 3 of us alumni started off this development initiative. I belong to the 84 batch of BTech, and my colleague Sujata, may I request her to stand up. She is the 83 batch chemical. And we have one more colleague, Joseph Thomas, who is not available today. He is 82 batch aero from here. We also have Suresh, who is adding excellent support to the development initiative here. So we formed the India and rest of the world, excluding US-based development initiatives. In the US, we have Seshan Ramohan, Ashok Santanam, Vijay Ulal, and Raj Narayan Swamy constituting the founding members of the foundation. They are based in the Bay Area. These 2 offices put together, we reach out to alumni across the globe and help them to engage with the institution. We are well supported by the Office of Alumni Affairs as well as the IIT Madras Charitable Trust in taking our day-to-day activities to next higher levels. As Professor Nag mentioned that the alumni engagement started off with Professor Satyanarayana way back in the early 2000s and gained momentum over a period of a decade or so. And today we are well poised with a full-fledged team in place to take the development initiative to next higher level in line with many of the American universities. Some of the interesting facts I thought I'll share with you from the 80s, late 80s to current levels. The student population has gone from about 2,500.
The launch of a new institute chair is always a very exciting and proud moment, and the Girija and AR Muralidharan chair is no different. Mr. R. Muralidharan, in a novel way, has agreed to donate the entire amount of his and his wife's life insurance policy, valued at $100,000 to IIT Madras as an endowment. Please welcome Mr. R. Muralidharan to tell us more about it.
Okay. First thing is, thanks very much for giving me an opportunity to talk. I have to give background to this what shall I say, this purpose for which it was being done. I was in Germany in 1971. I was fresh in for a training, and I was given some very basic training kind of thing, which I felt was rudimentary. I wanted to come back and get on with it. But then I couldn't do those days. Even to get a telephone call through would take about one day when it's called lightning calls and all that kind of thing. So I wrote a note to those guys saying that, listen, I cannot stay on here. It's a waste of time. I'm going back to India. Those fellows promptly gave me a quiz. Okay, this quiz was what the IIT Madras training. We are so much used to writing these quizzes that I just breezed through. So they put me on a training which started the more advanced training, and then I stood first in the course, which was a surprise to them. They were actually shocked. And then they said, now we recognize the value of the Indian engineers. It changed the way that some of the German companies started thinking about India and Indian engineers. The second thing that happened was that when I was reviewing my portfolio, I found a policy taken for our life, my wife and myself, that's why she's here, and for $100,000. The maturity value of that was comparatively low compared to what it would happen after our times. So I decided to do something about it. So I just walked into Dr. Nag's office, and there I found a brochure talking about the various chairs, institute chairs and the other chairs costing from 5 crores to 50 lakhs kind of thing. So I asked him, I said, can we do something about this? He said, I think so. Then he went and talked to DC. We all know DC now. And then they decided that it can be done. And it was very nice of Director Dr. Bhaskar to have agreed to this proposal. So what I've done is basically made IIT Madras the beneficiary for my insurance policy. The value is $100,000. It will accrue after our times. In case something happens to us in an airplane, they get double the money, so that's fine. Okay. But basically what has happened is why I'm here is try to tell you guys that you are all at the midpoint of your career and you know where you're going to be in the next 20 years kind of thing. I have some representatives of the LIC outside. You could talk to them and find out how it is to be done. You could take some policies. If there is some commission there, we'll give it to the IC department so that it can be, they can take care of that, right? The commission will go to, Professor Nag and his team. Okay, now the only thing that I wanted to say is, so my suggestion is take out an insurance policy for about $1 million, if those who are in the US, or 1 crore those who are in India, pay the premium until you are 65, or stop getting tax benefits, and cover yourself for medical insurance, etc. And then assign this policy to IIT, or if you don't like IIT, some other charitable organization. Okay, but then we will shoot you guys if you do that. You can inform the trustees about what you can do with this money, and then sleep peacefully. I'm sure that there will be any number of startups who will need that kind of money, and coming in from out is kind of a surprise. I'm going to stop with this. I had planned to say something else, but because of the time constraints, I don't want to do that. The only thing that I want to say is I have a piece of paper which I need to give it to IIT Madras, which says very clearly that the beneficiary has been switched, and it is IIT Madras Alumni Charitable Trust. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks.
You want to give me the paper?
Oh, yes, sure. I wrote something else on it, so.
Doesn't matter. At least we'll put on that.
Yeah. I think we can take the
This is the one?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Murali. Very thoughtful.
Yeah, come. You need the photograph, no? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. May I now call upon Professor B.S. Murthy, the chair professor, to describe his future plans.
Good afternoon, friends. First of all, thanks to Mr. Muralidharan and Madam Girija for this wonderful job, and the whole institute, IIT, we're all grateful for this new and innovative way of doing, which is the trend of IITians, always to do something innovative. This is also one such innovative. Personally, I am happy that I am the first beneficiary of this innovative venture by you. And for many of you who may not know me, I am in the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering last 12 years. 2004 I joined here. Before that I was in Kharagpur for about 12 years. Work in the area of basically materials, all kinds of materials, including a lot of work on nanomaterials. and have been enjoying my work all the time. And I'm sure with this support, we'll be able to do much more. There are a lot of new and innovative things that we have been trying to do for the industry, trying to take the materials that we have been working on to the industry and see where they can be applied. And in that kind of work, I'm sure this support would be greatly benefited. Thank you very much, and thank you.